To be very short, Parkour Uni aims to guide people, redefine their possibilities, or overcome their fears with parkour or freerunning as a medium. I knew nobody, but I got a hug of everybody in the class, which was ridiculous to me. From that moment on, I saw like, okay, damn, we have something special here, something we could work with. So we are very social beings. It's crucial to have this in our lives, and I think creating unity or creating a community are very important, and that's what we want to create through parkour, but also in parkour.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Ambras podcast. We are joined here today by our sponsor, and his name is...
Yo, I'm Florian.
Welcome Florian to the podcast.
Thank you.
Finally, this is the one I've been looking forward to the most, I think.
Whoa, sick.
Yeah, I have high hopes. I think it's going to be very interesting. So you better start...
Yes, up my game.
I told everyone you were the yapper, so...
I still don't know if like yapping is like a compliment or it's like more negative.
It can mean whatever you want it to.
Okay,
It's
I'm
just
gonna take it as
it's
a compliment.
just yapping. Right. You have good yappers, you have bad yappers. You know. Yeah,
I'm gonna try to be a good one. Then.
it can. I think I'm an annoying yapper, but you're like an interesting yapper. Like
Noted.
oh Florian's yapping. And it's like and then
Sick.
oh Ramon is yapping. Like, what's he talking about? That's the difference, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool,
Okay.
yeah.
Sick. Well,
I'm actually really hyped to
yeah?
be on the podcast. Yeah, I've been looking forward to this talk like a lot. Yeah.
Sick.
Cool.
So nice. Yeah. Let's start by just talking about who you are.
Okay. Cool.
How old are you? How did you get into parkour?
Cool. I'm 26 at the moment, and I got into parkour by like the game Assassin's Creed.
Really?
Yeah, exactly.
Assassin's Creed.
Like 13 years old, and we played Assassin's Creed together with like a friend, and we thought like we should be able to do that.
Yeah.
And I don't think we first looked up for YouTube tutorials, but for some weird reason we decided it is parkour to do like dive rolls, and we met up like a few times after a row trying to do the highest dive rolls, not the furthest dive rolls, but like the highest. So we were looking for obstacles in our neighborhood, like can we dive roll over this or this, and then we searched fences, or we put bikes, our own bikes, we dive rolled over our own bikes for some reason.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. And then we started to look up like YouTube tutorials, and we found a sports club where we could actually, my aunt, so shout out to my aunt for finding like a sports club, Exception Movement, where I could do parkour.
Did it already exist?
Yes, it already existed. Yeah,
is it
for sure?
Isn't it one of the oldest clubs?
It's one of the oldest,
Belgium?
yeah. Together with some other clubs like Sky. Back in the day, it was called Blaze, and of course.
We should
Nico
do a separate episode about Exception Movement as well.
Yeah.
But I do want to hear who started it.
The ones who started this were definitely Cédric Lezire.
Yes, I
shout
heard
out
about
to him
in the last podcast.
Gave some parkour classes with Peter Schiffler. You've probably heard about him as well.
Yeah.
They started in Ostend, and
Sick.
gave some parkour classes every Sunday morning. Yeah.
It's weird that I literally just heard about him like 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
I
crazy.
never heard about Cédric Lessir.
Yeah.
Never. And then Zaur told me like he taught him parkour.
Yeah,
So,
he has
what the hell?
had a crazy influence in creating the community that Exception Movement is now.
Yes.
Right now. Yeah.
That's sick. Well, we should keep that for the other
Yeah,
podcast.
definitely.
But it's very interesting though.
It's,
How old are you now?
26, yeah.
And you have a lot of brothers also, right?
Yeah, it's amazing. When you would be talking about me, it's very appropriate to mention
the brothers
the
come
four
with
brothers.
you.
Yeah, they come with me. Yeah.
It's one package. It's a package deal.
It is.
Yeah.
They're like, they're definitely my best friends and the people I care about most in my life. Yeah. So they're very
I like
influential.
I like them
Yeah,
too.
they're nice guys.
When you guys have such a I don't know, like a cozy, homey feel.
Yeah.
Like when I'm with you guys, it feels like I'm like just part of the brothers, you know?
You're part of
Yeah,
the
it
crew.
feels so
Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I
crazy.
think that's very nice to have with the brothers, that they can welcome people
Mhm.
very easily. We could also be just like the five, and no one's
Yeah.
able to get into our circle or something like that. But
Yeah.
yeah, everyone's welcome. That's amazing. And since very shortly, like everyone has tried parkour or does
Yes,
parkour,
that's what I was gonna
which
ask.
is
yeah.
which is crazy.
That's
Actually,
so cool.
Corneel stalled it for so long,
Yeah,
and this year he literally started and he took some classes,
that's so cool.
and now he's
Parkour family. That's
yeah,
crazy.
we have a parkour family finally.
That's
yeah.
cool. That's cool. That's so sick. Yeah. So wait, how old were you again?
Dude, you've been
Did
asking
you-
me for
I know,
3
I
times
know.
already.
I forgot. 26. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
26.
Yeah, you're
But
fine.
doesn't
You're
matter
fine.
that much.
You're so young.
I am actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thought you.
I
were
don't
older.
have the impression. I don't have the impression that I'm like getting older.
No.
Not yet.
Damn. I mean, it's great because in my head you're older.
Mhm.
Not because you look older, but because it feels like you have so much experience.
Mhm.
And I hear a lot of people in the community, like your name. Yeah, I hear it a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of people talking, Florian this, Florian that.
Mhm.
Florian's doing this, so it feels like you're always doing something. And then in my head it's like, oh, he's so experienced and
Yeah.
old and busy, and you know.
To be honest, I did started being involved in the political side of parkour in Belgium since I was 16 years old.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I
Started
got
young.
involved pretty quickly, and
Yeah.
I do like every aspect of parkour at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you're one of the. I thought about it. If someone had to represent Belgium
Mm-hmm.
in like a debate or something, or
Mhm.
I don't know, from parkour, it would definitely be you. I think. I always
Yeah.
think of you because I feel like you have the tools
Mm-hmm.
to bring it home, to bring us
Funny.
to justice or
Yeah.
something. I don't know.
Yeah. It's funny because like we're gonna talk about community for sure, but like we talk a lot about Belgium, and it's very weird how the political side aspect of our country literally divides us somehow in parkour as well.
That's true.
Since like I wouldn't be representing Belgium in any way, I would be representing Flanders.
That's
maybe,
true, actually,
or
yeah.
if it would be a debate or something. And also, I say I got involved in the political side of things. I'm only involved not of Belgium but of Flanders, and our country is literally called like Belgium, and also the Wallonie part is a huge part of the scene, a huge part of the community as well. A lot of people join the Flanders events and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And there are definitely really good parkour clubs in Wallonie as well. Yeah.
Sick. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but we don't hear.
Yeah,
of them
exactly.
A lot, no?
It's
It's what I'm
still
trying
divided.
to do with Ambras a bit as well,
Yeah.
especially on the video side. I don't know about the teaching side and stuff because
Mhm.
that's a bit different there as well.
Yeah,
but we'll
it
get
is.
into that later maybe. So what would you say your job or your goal is?
Mhm.
Just your opinion on like what you do in our community. What's your job here?
What is my job? I have actually never really thought about it that way. Not as
Not in word.
personally.
You
I
never
think.
really talked about
Yeah.
exactly what it is that you do.
Yeah. I think I just I follow like a passion of mine, like something
Mhm.
that's interesting to me, and I just kind of looked at how my life was going and how I could be of service in some ways, and that's always how I thought about it. I think job wise or involvement wise, that like how can I serve something for other people or for parkour? What can I do for parkour that we can create something that would be of great service for other people, something like that. Yeah, that's because that's maybe the funny story about how I started parkour. Like parkour literally changed my life, and I guess everyone has some story like that.
Yes.
But as 14-year-old, I entered exception movement like on my first class. I knew nobody.
Yeah.
Came with a friend, but I got a hug of everybody in the class, which was ridiculous to me. Like in soccer, we used to shake each other's hands. Like I've been playing soccer all my life until I was 16, even after I started parkour, and they would give like hands, and I think almost every team member tried to like already with the handshake, they didn't really do it like to acknowledge you, but it was like a standoff or something, you know, like the cowboy standoff. The handshake felt like that, right? And so people came up to you like, yo, bro, what's up? You know, they tried to like almost dominate you like from above. So like a good handshake like this, like I acknowledge you, something like I really acknowledge you. It was something very rarely in soccer. And I came into a parkour class and literally everyone was like, yo, welcome. I was like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? And then you enter that family, and like the family feeling for me definitely changed something completely. The world opened for me at that moment. I had tons of friends, like amazing friends and tons of friends. So it's something that's probably one of the most important things in your life, to have like a really good friend. And suddenly I had a lot more than I could count on my hands. Like, what is this? So and from that moment on, I saw like, okay, damn, we have something special here, something we could work with. And then I think the ball just got rolling, and then I eventually helped, like I told you about Cedric, right?
Yes.
He created that amazing community. He definitely was the one influencing that kind of atmosphere the most, and I really wanted to help develop this kind of atmosphere. So then I went into Exception Movement as a coach, then as a manager who can oversee things and steer the club. And up until this moment I did that. And then after my studies I decided like I want this to be my full-time job, and then I decided to develop Parkour Uni. As the next step, like a professional step, with doing trying to be of service and in a way for people who do parkour, but also for people who can do something with parkour.
Yeah, that's true. I think a lot of people are already a bit tired about hearing Parkour Uni the whole time.
Is it?
You've been sponsoring. I've been Parkour Uni this, Parkour Uni that.
Yeah.
But it's probably because they just don't know exactly what it is. Because I've only been talking about the online community, which we will talk about as well. But I think this is a good episode to just kind of to give people some idea of what it is exactly. What Parkour Uni does and what you've done already for our community, which you've done a lot. So that's crazy. Cool. I'm thankful.
It always feels like there's more to come, but that's cool.
Even more.
Even more.
Bro.
To be very short, Parkour Uni aims to guide people, redefine their possibilities or overcome their fears with parkour or freerunning as a medium. That's our main goal. That's the mission. That's the vision. And Parkour Uni is actually an abbreviation of Parkour UNIty and Parkour UNIversity. Those are like the two pillars we hold very dear in what we want to try to create and develop. You know, Parkour UNIty, obviously, I think the social we are very social beings. It's crucial to have this in our lives. True. And I think creating unity or creating a community or anyway just really good social relationships are very important, and that's what we want to create through parkour, but also in parkour, within parkour. So that's a very big aim.
Zaur also said on the previous podcast that parkour is a very intimate sport. And I think that also falls together with it's a social sport as well, because you're with so many people. And I'm not even that social, but still, parkour is a really social sport. So it makes me more social as well.
Yeah, you mentioned it a few episodes earlier that suddenly you have friends all over the world. Yeah,
you have friends everywhere.
It can literally open up worlds.
Yes,
and that's what I really think is really important in like. Community, and that's what I think parkour also had a lot of problems with cults. cult-like vibes, like
yeah.
the parkour purist, for example, which is talked about a lot. And I had to deal with a lot of this kind of stuff myself throughout my parkour journey. Like I've been around pretty early, so I saw some vibes come and go, actually.
Yeah.
And I think that's very important. Like, we have the opportunity to connect really quickly because we have one thing in common. That's parkour, obviously. Like, you do parkour, I know what you do, we can do it together, but we come probably from completely different backgrounds or have completely different perspectives. Yeah. And this is amazing. Like, if we can create, or if we have a community where that is like acceptable, and you can have conversations with other people with completely different perspectives, that is amazing. That's something that can be really useful in your life, especially in a world as today, which tends to separate everything in right wing or left wing. There's no in between. Everything's black and white. There's no gray zone. And
parkour is the gray zone. Has to be the gray zone.
Yeah, I think it's just the aspect where you can connect really quickly or really easily with someone. And then you can be like, okay, friendly to each other. You can have a nice conversation. That's true. And that conversation might be with two completely opposite perspectives. Yeah. And those conversations are really important to have.
You're talking about how people see parkour, right? With different
maybe completely different. I think at SPL 3 we had the group chat living together, and we went for a walk into the forest, and the conversations that we had on that trip were like, it was amazing because it was more often than not, it was about life or backgrounds or where do we come from.
Not too much about parkour.
Not too much about parkour. And okay, parkour people amongst themselves tend to talk a lot about parkour and be like addictive and focus only on that, or go into like the upwards circle of like, oh, parkour is amazing and it gave me this and it gave me that. Wow, next level. But actually, I had a lot of conversations about with people who do parkour about who they are, where do they come from, what are the relations with their parents or with their brothers or whatever happened in their lives, and that's where true friendship develops as well.
Okay, yeah. Right, so you're not only talking about how we see parkour, but also just how we live our lives and the different.
And that's what I mean with Parkour Uni's mission, that it uses parkour as a medium
to unify. Yeah. Okay.
You know, and it comes on this aspect in every way. What Parkour Uni does is it accepts that parkour is just like a tool. We can use it, and it can be very, very useful, actually, a very useful tool.
Yes.
But it's not the core of your life. It's not the most important thing in your life, you know. It
depends on who you're talking to.
Yeah, of course. Definitely. But like if we look at the human race, right, there's fundamental things that are very important to live a true life, like a truthful
Being
life.
Social is one of them.
Yeah, for example, you can literally punish a psychopath by isolating him, which is crazy, right? Because we would think they are socially really...
No, they rely. That's what humans have been doing for our whole evolution, relying on each other, and
yeah, exactly. So, for example, it would be maybe very cliche, but like love or friendship is very important for every human being.
Definitely,
So that's what we aim for on one side. Yeah.
To get a little out of that, because a question popped up in my head, and I don't want to lose it.
Yeah, cool.
On the way people see parkour, so not just the way we live our lives, but just the way people see parkour, do you think that it's so divided in parkour that we have like these left or right wingers in parkour, because parkour is not well defined, because other sports are really well defined, like gymnastics, this and this. You have this part of gymnastics, you have this part, you have this part. There's no discussion in gymnastics. What is gymnastics, you know? Like football, what is football? Like, people know exactly what it is. Even people who don't do the sports know exactly what it is. Okay. But parkour is so vague. Do you think that's one of the reasons why it's also so divided on its opinions, like what parkour is?
Okay, that like there's multiple journeys. Yeah, it might be. It might definitely be. I think parkour is definitely a sport that let people to discover their own path.
Yeah.
They can do
their own movement.
Their own movement. It has definitely developed to a place where it is that. Because when I started parkour, it was not.
Yes, it was
if you so if you did a flip or something and you included it in a video, in some groups it was weird, or you were a poser, or you had to do like parkour or something, or like these youngsters of 13 years old posting a clip online with 3 minutes of only side flips but from different obstacles. It was looked down upon.
Yes.
Which will now you wouldn't have that anymore. If someone would post on Belgium parkour community like with a video, for example, in Bruges, and he did 3 minutes full of side flips, I was like, damn, cool. I didn't know you.
That's a lot of side flips.
Yeah, that's a lot of side flips. That's true. And I wouldn't watch it day in, day out, but I wouldn't look down upon it in any way or something. And that's something that the Belgian parkour community developed maybe better into or something.
Yeah,
or
that's
maybe.
Actually
and
true.
Maybe worldwide even. More and more people.
Also,
more and more, I hear more and more people who tend to see it as just the discipline, like everything. You also see it in Coach Europe. Coach Europe is an event for ADD, parkour, and free running. And a few years back, we would have separated stuff like that.
I think you'd be surprised, because you told me you were not on Instagram for a while now. You haven't been on Instagram. There's been some action on Instagram relating to the Gizmo comps and stuff. There were some hate comments from parkour people to other parkour people, saying like this isn't parkour, this isn't this and that. So that's kind of why I wanted to hear your side of it as well. But I think Belgium, I'm only talking about the Flanders part, of course, or just the part I know best. I think we do it really well. I don't think there's a lot of people that, or actually there might be none, that really judge other people for the way they move. If you want to be really funky and flowy and, I don't know, really woke parkour, that's what people call it, but that's so stupid.
What the heck?
That's what people were saying on Instagram.
Oh, really?
Yeah, woke caught up to parkour. This is gay.
Oh,
that's
wow.
It was like Charles Auguste who did cool, funky ass. I don't know.
He moves great.
Yeah, that's his own style, his own thing, but you don't have to like pull him down, say this is gay or where's the parkour. That's so stupid. I think Belgium does it really well. I think we respect each other's movements and each other's
more and more, because I truly think there's a lot of people experienced these kind of stuff like back in the days, in the earlier stages of Parkour Belgium, and more people realized, or people like that became coaches. They know they had those stories, and they developed other people with a different mindset or a different view, and so the perspectives were much more open, I think, towards everyone. To be fair, when I train in Belgium, I've never had anyone tell me like what you're doing is wrong or is not parkour. So it was only until I went on Instagram that I saw things like that. So I think we're doing a pretty good job inside of Belgium. One thing also maybe about why do you think like there's more divided perspectives in the sport and maybe less in another sport? I don't know if it's less in another sport, but maybe there's like to parkour there's like some kind of community aspect of it, that it's inherently or events and stuff like that, it's more inherently community based or something, like a jam. It could literally be that you're like on a jam training next to some of the best of the world or something, and you're not at all the best of the world, but you're still there. Or you would be training with like people from other countries that are on a different level of you, and it would be kind of weird for the top level of Manchester City to suddenly train with a second grade
that is true
football club of Spain or something.
There are still divisions,
definitely.
But they kind of come together in parkour.
So different perspectives come together all the time.
Yeah, it's true.
Because the sport doesn't really
have
make those divisions or boundaries.
No physical boundaries.
Physical.
Or maybe there might be some people that are opposed to training with people that are like less good than them.
Yeah, might be. Yeah.
But then you're just an asshole. Sorry.
I mean, like, you don't have to necessarily train with them, but you could be able to train in the same neighborhood as them.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's something that. So maybe a little interaction you didn't thought would be happening could happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. For example, you maybe you're really good and you're training on a drop precision, and next to you there's a smaller drop precision, and suddenly you see some like beginner do a drop precision, and you would go up and like, hey, do you want a tip? And like the beginner would be like, yeah, damn, sure. And then suddenly you have an interaction, or vice versa.
even just saying good job. That was great.
Something like that.
And he'll be like, wow.
Yeah, it would be really cool.
Yeah.
So
that's true. It's sick.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we should stop here for now.
Yeah,
we haven't even gotten to the to our questions yet. Actually, we've been yapping, bro.
Yeah,
you can still, if you have something to say about Parkour, the university side.
Yeah, the university side. The university side really came from like my studies in sports science, but also, and not a lot of people know that, like my brother Cornel did a lot of research and still does, and is amazing in how humans work. Sick. And how they learn and how they communicate and how the brain works and all this kind of stuff. Like a tremendous amount of solo research.
So the body and the brain, kind of.
Yeah, a lot of things like that. And what was really interesting to me, I thought like it's Parkour University side of things wants to incorporate, wants to be like a kind of expert on parkour and expertise on a level like how does parkour interact with like
a human
being a human, exactly. And we want to be like some kind of consultants on how to develop parkour in a way. That could be for a club or a community that wants to develop. That could be for a coach. That could be for a student. In any way. But we really hold ourselves to a high standard of recent trends or recent research or something to make it even better. For example, I've been creating coaching courses since I was 17 or 18 years old, as a parkour coach, right? And writing it. And this year I still try to up the level and try to make it better according to what I've learned about how people learn, for example. Oh, wow, people learn this and this and this way. Wow, how we set up the course was completely not like how people should learn. So let's make something happen. Let's make a coaching course that is specifically done in a way that it's set up so that people can learn more easily. And we did, and we tested it out this year, and it went really great. There's a lot of things to be adjusted still, but that's like a side of Parkour University that some people think like it's just adding sports science to parkour and being on that aspect, but we see it as a whole, like on how we work or should work. Sick. So it's definitely something.
I like that you keep that you said that you keep changing and updating the way you do the things. That's really important, I think. If you just stick to one way the entire time, it's not gonna work.
No.
Yeah, sick. The Belgian community. The online Belgian community.
The one you've been talking about on every episode.
On every episode,
The ones
Let's
people...
get into it. What is it exactly? I've already said it 1,000 times, but I want you to tell the people again.
Yeah, you did a really good job in explaining what it is. I was the first time I heard, I was literally amazed by how well you put it.
Yes, really.
Yeah. I was like, damn, this is a good representation. What it aims to be is like, it aims to be a medium where the parkour community can meet up and interact in good ways. And we've had with what you know about the fora,
the forums.
Yeah, the forums, right? Then we had a Facebook page, Parkour Belgium, but then the Parkour Belgium and Facebook really died out and died. And then it was like most people were gathering their information on Instagram. But it's an algorithm that sometimes shows you this and sometimes shows you something else, you know, so depending on your preferences. And Facebook is the same. So it's really hard to make like an organic way on how to spread parkour news within a community, or maybe interact. And then we had two options, Discord and WhatsApp, and I did some research, and then we put some heads together of the parkour community. We thought we had to make, in the beginning we thought we had to make a division, or a decision, or we do it with Discord, or we do it with WhatsApp. But now WhatsApp is running really, really well. Discord a little bit less, which is cool to see, actually. It's nice that it happened organically. And we just kept developing it, and we will be developing it still if there's need for more things. But I think it's a really cool way also for at first, like, the community to interact more, to get to know all the events that are happening in Belgium, but then also a reliable way for people who want to get into parkour to connect. And that's something, a lot of times we talk about the community, and sometimes I have the impression that people are talking about a select amount of people that train together regularly.
True.
And I see the parkour community much broader than that. Like, if there's a student of mine who's 13 years old and trains with two friends every day in his little city, it's also part of the Parkour Belgium community. He's doing parkour, and he's also interested in parkour in the same way I was when I was 14 years old, right? And I wasn't on a forum or not yet on a Facebook page, but I was doing parkour. And these kind of communities are very interesting for them because they can connect that way. And also people don't realize sometimes, but parents can connect that way. We have a lot of students of ours whose parents are in the Parkour Belgium community group.
Oh, that's sick.
And they check out the events, and they try to meet up with experienced tracers, and that way 13 years old kids can just meet up with experienced tracers or freerunners. And that's cool. This is just really cool.
Before the online community, the way people met up was just they had kind of their different groups, I guess. You have a chat over here, chat over there, and just give a little text and no one answers. You know, the usual. And especially for people who, as you said, newcomers who want to get into it, if you have that kind of layout, where do you start? Who do you text?
Yeah, exactly.
You know? There's no one place to go. But your solution is so simple yet so effective to just create one place where everyone can go. But it's not just one big chat, because that would be way
disastrous.
That would be disastrous. So it's simple, but it's beautiful.
Thanks.
It's easy. And at first I thought like, it's a good idea, but I don't think a lot of people are going to use it. I was on the Discord first as well. I was like, okay, text here and there. But actually now on WhatsApp, it's I never go to any other chat anymore. If I want to text a train, I just go to the Belgium community. Or I send like specific people only if I'm feeling like it. But mostly if I'm training in Ghent, I just send it in the community. So I think that's sick. And everyone should do it. You should do it.
You should.
Yeah, it's a group effort. Place. It's a group effort.
Yeah, I think so too. And if people keep adding people still. But also, what it doesn't want to be is like be a replacement for how groups of friends want to meet up.
No.
Like if you have a chat with your friends who do parkour and you are with 4 people in it really doesn't want to be a replacement of this. But it wants to create an opportunity for a community. It's a hub, right? You have one region, for example, Antwerp, boom, everyone who does parkour in Antwerp has a place to go. If they want to meet up with new people, they can also access other chats and know about events both in Antwerp or in Belgium. So that's the aim.
Okay, you talked about or I also talked about having like different groups to train in. Do you think if the community keeps growing, because in Belgium right now it's pretty small, everyone kind of knows each other, it's a cozy little community, but on a worldwide scale it's really large and it's growing every day. It's getting bigger and bigger. Do you think that's important for us to stay one coherent community, or do you think that if we like diverge pathways and everyone kind of gets their own way and own group, that is a problem for our sport in some way?
Yeah, that's a really interesting question, actually. I think, like I said earlier, I think those different perspectives and different backgrounds are amazing.
Yes.
I think that's really cool for the sport. But
that's
would be
everywhere. That's in every sport.
Yeah,
everybody's a different person.
Sport, yeah. But nonetheless, like, it would be cool that parkour stays that mutual thing that you could meet up with and such like that. Soccer is exactly the same sport. But if the two sports club of Club Brugge and Anderlecht in Belgium would meet, then you have hooliganism and the police has to come on the streets to keep them separated.
Yes.
Why? Because you created two teams who are willing to keep... They attach their personality so much to the team that they are in that it's worth to discriminate like another team.
Yes.
And it would be amazing if you had... if we could kind of keep agreeing in the big sport that... Damn, what we do in essence is actually quite the same.
Yes.
And then, and I think those are, I hope, in order for us to do that as a community, I think only the core values have to stay the same.
Yes.
For example, you respect your spot when you go train there, or you're kind to other people, like for beginners.
Yes.
Imagine that there would be a parkour team that will go on the streets, and then when they meet up with beginners, they would like, dude, you're not allowed to train on the spot because you're a beginner and I'm a pro and I can train on the spot and you're not welcome here.
I think I don't want to, because I don't know a lot about the skating community, but in my eyes, I think it's lost some of its core values about what skating was, because it's gotten so big that right now in Belgium, if you do parkour, you can kind of know everyone. In skating, not at all. If you do skate, like a lot of guys do skating right now. Like if you go to school and you ask someone who in this class skates, like 5 guys are going to put their hand, I skate sometimes. Yeah. They don't know all the skaters in Belgium. It's no way. So there's not really a way to check if everyone's like keeping the core values in check, you know? So they can just be random hooligan guys skating and not respecting the spot and fucking cursing at people and drinking and pouring their beer and throwing their beer and stuff. And that's what I'm afraid of personally in the parkour community, that people are just gonna lose and create kind of a bad view for other people.
Yeah, it can happen. Although I think that there is so much that we can do as parkour people, as parkour coaches, as parkour jammers, as practitioners, or even role models on Instagram, that we can do in order for the next generation to keep those core values, at least the core values. And it's sometimes out of a lack of us practicing that responsibility or something, or like I hear a lot of people like, I'm afraid that this will happen to my sport, and then I think like, okay, if you really care that much about it, maybe start practicing some more of the core values a little bit more, so in order for other people to like literally experience what it is that you want parkour to have, right? And if people are gonna experience that, they will also do it. We had a super interesting conversation, I think, with the finalist of SPL Skill, in which they said that in the final of SPL, after they went for like one of the final challenges in the last day, that you literally went up into the line and that you were still talking to each other about, man, you can do it here and you take a dip there, or like technical tips almost. Yes. And some of them were like saying, that's a really cool aspect, and I actually liked that about the final, because in some way I could like feel less stressed and be just okay, and I was very happy for the other people if they crushed the challenge. But I also just enjoyed the final. I enjoyed competing.
Yes.
And it would be amazing for me to come next year to SPL and have the same experience. And like they expressed the fear that maybe if other people come to the final and experience and behave a completely different way, that it wouldn't be anymore. Or if it would get, I don't know, more prize money, or it would be organized in a different way. But if you come into next year, into the final, and you behave exactly the same way, and you set the tone for everybody else, like, we can behave like that, whatever prize money, whatever how it's organized, people coming into the final for the first time, they will experience and they will be like, oh damn,
definitely,
this is a nice vibe.
I totally
and next year
understand,
they will do the same. And it's like that with everything in parkour. If I come into a jam and I say hello and I ask you like, damn, who are you? You're new. Or I go to a parkour park, for example, in Ghent, and I'm like solo training, and there's like a 13-year-old also jumping on walls, and I go like, hey, yo, man, what's up? I don't know your face. Oh, you're training parkour? Ah, cool. Where are you training? Ah, you're training parkour alone. Okay, cool. But that's nice. If you want a tip, or anyway, or you want to do a challenge together, let's do it, you know?
Yeah.
He's going to feel welcomed.
Definitely.
He's not going to be like, ooh, damn, that's a creepy guy. I don't know.
I mean, if it's you, he might think
he might.
He might.
Yeah. But I think this is just the most important thing. If you as a person have fear that it will become this in the future.
Yeah.
On the other hand, people can still choose to do something completely else with it.
Yeah.
And that's possible, but you just cannot do anything about it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I totally agree with like how do we say in Dutch? We say I like just treat people how you want to be treated.
Yeah,
kind of. And then if you treat them that way, they will also begin treating other people that way. But there's, as you said, definitely going to be other people who just don't act that way at all. Do you think our way, or the right way, that's so stupid, our way will overpower kind of the bad way? Is it enough to just only you do the right way, you know?
I think it's very important work that you need to be doing in your whole life. It's always like that.
Yeah, it's not only in parkour.
Yeah, it's not only in parkour. If there's no one accepts violence in the world.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, and some people choose to not do violence, and they choose to actually practice peace more often than not, and try to practice a lot more peace if you want the world to be a more peaceful place.
Yeah.
And everyone who will experience the peace that you transcend or create an atmosphere for, they will probably accept it and be like, oh damn, that's cool, let's continue, you know, the ball gets rolling.
Hello Ambras listeners. Unfortunately, the episode was really long, so we split it up in 2 episodes. So this is the end of the first, and I will be releasing the next one later. Thanks for listening, and enjoy the next episode.